Hi, welcome to the Peaceful Home. Today I'm going to do an overview of the series of organizing with children. And I just want to talk a little bit about each one because when you put these 6 things in place, it will make a huge difference in the peace of your home. Number 1 is organizing toddler toys. Now, toddlers are a little bit different. They tend to scatter toys and they will send stuff all over your house, and they're not very good at cleaning up. So the things that help with toddlers are to reduce the number of toys so there's less to scatter, really pare down. And the video on this will talk about it in more detail and give some really concrete examples. But another factor is that toddlers can't yet clearly sort. They are starting to do a little bit of sorting, but it is so much easier to just get them in the habit of cleaning up. So just having one bin for several toys is much better than dividing them in a way that you really can't expect them to clean up by putting all the doll clothes in one bin and all the Duplos in another bin. They will be learning that process, but until they have it down, having one bin and they just learn the toys go in it is really key. Now, number 2 is organizing kids' toys. As your children are getting older and they're beginning to have the cognitive skills to sort and divide things, being able to clean up by clearly putting things where they belong, this is when you want to establish a checkout system. And the video on this will explain completely how to do it, how to declutter. And I actually show you how I did this with a client. We decluttered her playroom, got everything sorted into bins, and she taught her children how to use the checkout system. And it's been amazing. No more toys and clutter all over the house all day long. The third video in the series is how to help sentimental children declutter. And I think this is such an important skill. We have to learn to declutter, and I know that a lot of adults are just now learning that because their parents didn't know how to teach them. And so what you're doing now with your children will have impact for the rest of their lives. They need to learn how to manage their space, their stuff, and how to clean up after themselves. And they also need to learn how to manage the sentimental keepsake things that come into their lives. And some children you can see from an early age, they are just so sentimental. They don't want to let anything go. They want 5 stuffed animals with them every night, and they all have to be there. They need to take every toy with them as they're getting in the car. They just can't bear to be parted from these things. And while we don't want to change our child's personality, we can help them learn skills to be able to let go, to be able to learn that there are boundaries in life. There's only so much space, so much time. And we have to live within those boundaries to be emotionally healthy. A key to this is learning to let go, learning to donate things, learning that when something no longer serves you well, it should be donated. Also learning that when you think all of these things are serving you well and you love them all, you still have a concrete space, a container that they must fit in. So whatever doesn't fit, it's outside of the boundary you've been given, and those things need to be passed on to someone else that can enjoy them. So check out that video if you have a sentimental child. Video number 4 covers the 2 boxes that every child needs. These boxes really come in handy for helping your child with personal things, with those sentimental things that we talked about. What do they do with the stuff that they want to save forever? There needs to be a spot for that. So this video helps you get those things in place so your children have a place to put the most important things. Video number 5, I'm not going to give it away, but it is my number 1 best trick for helping my children to not leave their stuff all around the house. Now, when I grew up, my grandfather was very strict. He was a Navy man, and we had a family cabin in the mountains, and when we would go and spend holidays together, I remember there was one time that I left a pair of shoes out, and I remember the panic of like, oh, I left my shoes out, and I ran, and they were not there, and Pop had thrown them in the fire. Now, he was not an angry man. He was loving. He was kind. My favorite photos are of sitting in his lap in his big chair, and I loved him so much, but he was very strict about us leaving our stuff out. And if it was left out, it was going in the trash or the fire. Now, this never made me feel resentful, but we knew, my siblings, my cousins, we all knew better than to leave our stuff out. And so that worked. He was training us whether he intended to or not. I can tell you that this method is not by any means as severe, but it is really, really effective. If you don't have something in your system to help your children learn to clean up their own stuff, then you are not going to have a peaceful home. You are going to have chaos everywhere. So don't miss that video. The 6th video in the series is about helping your children to keep their rooms clean. And this is tough. I talk about 3 big mistakes that most parents make in helping their kids have a clean room and how you can combat that with a checklist, clearly stating what's expected and what they need to do for their room to be considered clean. If they don't have those expectations, they really don't know what to do. And that's where I see parents saying, go clean your room. And the child goes and stands in their room and moves a couple things. And then they're like, I don't even know what else to do. And they go play. And you're like, why didn't you clean your room? I told you to clean your room. And I just see so much conflict surrounding that, unless you just give up and you don't care. And I've heard of parents that do that. They just say, you know what? I closed the door. It's their space. And I'm glad that you're not allowing that to personally affect you if that is your style and you're not getting angry about it. I don't think you should be angry either way. But you're missing out on teaching your child a very, very important life skill of managing their surroundings and their belongings. We have many years, Lord willing, to teach our children all of these things. It's not going to happen overnight, and so you do need to be patient and gracious and loving. And we speak life over our children. The Bible says that life and death are in the power of the tongue. I'll give you an example of this. Let's say that your 8-year-old son is supposed to go clean his room, and when you go to look at it and use the checklist, he's only done one of the 4 things. And so you have a couple of choices. You can say, you know what, Eric, I'm really disappointed. We've been working on this all week, and there's only 4 things for you to check, and you only did one of them. I want you to go back and get those other things done. You could say something like that, but I would prefer to speak life in what I'm saying to my child. So I would change that to, you know what, Eric, we've been working on this for a week and it's been hard. Mommy has a hard time trying new things, and you've seen my room. I have a hard time with it. I know that you are working on this. How many of the things on our list did you get done? Bring them into the conversation. Ask questions. And he might say, 1, okay, well, you know what you need to do. I trust you. You're so good at this. I will leave you to finish this. Come and let me know because I want to take a look and I want to see your progress. So, same incident, totally different responses. We can actually encourage our children. They do want to please us. It's just innate in a child. So that's a way that you can build a bond of love and not have your child feel so discouraged or beaten down. If we don't believe in them, why would they believe in themselves? So be encouraging and uplifting, but still hold them to the standard that you've put in place. These are 6 things that I think are so vital to organizing with children. I hope this series will really be a blessing for you, and I would love to hear from you in the comments if you have any questions or concerns. And I especially love to hear about your successes and especially how it's contributing to your peaceful home. Thanks so much for joining me today. Have a great day.